It is a new year, and maybe you're like me and you have some games that have been sitting on your shelf for a while, and for whatever reason, you've just never played them. Well, I've got a couple of those, and today I'm going to take a look at my shelf of opportunity, I like to call it. I know some people call it a shelf of shame. I view it more as a shelf of opportunity, things that are just waiting to be played. I actually have a decent amount. I was pulling them all out for this video, and I was a little surprised that I had so many games that I owned that I have not played yet. But we're going to run through them today, and if any of these you have played, I would love for you to comment below, let me know what you think of them. You can play all of these solo, so let's go ahead and jump into my shelf of opportunity for 2025. So this first game came out a few years ago. I bought it on sale. It has always really intrigued me, but for some reason I have just never pulled it off the shelf, and I have all of these obviously to show you here today. So this is Tyledum. This is from Simone Luciani, Danielle Tascini. This is a game where you have dice and you're using those dice to get resources. Look, it looks really cool. The cover looks really cool. Here's some things that are going on throughout the course of the game. As you can tell, it's still in the shrink wrap. I haven't even opened it yet. I've had it for a couple years. This is one of my biggest shelf of opportunity games that I want to get played in 2025. I just haven't done so for whatever reason. I've looked up the rules for this. I've looked it up on BGG. I see that there's alternate solo modes on BGG that are a little bit easier than the solo mode that comes in the box, although I've heard that one is also great as well. So I don't know why I haven't played Tyledum yet, but it is on my list to get played in 2025. Now, the next game on this list is a Garphill game, and it is one that is in the South Tigris trilogy. I picked this up a few years ago. I feel bad about this one because I have set this game up. I have looked at the rule book. I have learned the rules, and for whatever reason, when I had it set up on the table, it just wasn't the right time to play it. But I do want to play it because I've heard great things about it, and that is Wayfarers of the South Tigris. Now, we're doing a little bit better here. This one I have opened up. Again, I have set this up. I have punched it. I have read the rules, all of that. But I don't know why I didn't get this out on the table. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on in this game, and that may be one reason why I was a little put off initially, is I think I just need to study this game a little bit more, maybe watch some videos, some how-to-plays, and really figure out how to dive into this one solo, because I think it would be a lot of fun. That's another one that I picked up at Gen Con a few years back, and the person working the Renegade Games booth where that game was at, she said that she really enjoyed that game, and it was a lot of fun, and you could do a lot of combos in it, and all of those things really intrigue me, and so I really want to jump into that one more as well. That's a really heavy game, and you'll see not really a theme here, but maybe that most of these games are a little bit heavier, are a little bit more of a longer playtime. I think those just prohibit themselves from getting to the table for whatever reason. When you have two maybe games that you're looking at, you might think, oh, this one is going to take me maybe 2 hours to play. It's got a high weight on Board Game Geek. Seems like it might be complicated. Or I could, pop out this other game that I've got here that I haven't played. This says it takes 30 minutes and the rule book is 3 pages. I just feel like sometimes it is hard to get these bigger games to the table for whatever reason for me, but I do really enjoy them when I play them, and so I just need to kind of make that a resolution here for 2025 and play more of these heavy type games and really enjoy them. So that's Wayfarers of the South Tigris. I say all that. This next one is not really that heavy. It's another in a series of games. I have played the original in this series. I have not played this one yet, though. I just got this over the holidays. It's Horrified Greek Monsters. So Horrified is a really cool pick up and deliver type game. At least the original is. I think some of the same is maybe going on here in this sequel to Horrified, but this has all the Greek mythic monsters in it. It looks really cool. These look really well done, and Horrified's a pretty easy game to play. It's also a lot of fun. I really liked the original Horrified with the universal monsters, and so when I saw that this was available, it was on sale over the holidays. I decided to grab it. I just haven't played it yet, but again, I like the original Horrified. I think I will like Horrified Greek Monsters as well. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the next one here. Sorry I keep diving down, but all of them are right here below me. So the next one is a big campaign game, and I've actually played the sequel to this game, but I've not played the original. It's by Ryan Lockett, and it is Sleeping Gods. It's very heavy. Here's Sleeping Gods. So Sleeping Gods is an exploration game. It has a big storybook in here. You're on a ship in this one. You're going through, exploring all these different areas with your characters. Now, I've played Sleeping Gods Distant Skies, and I really enjoy that one. I haven't finished a campaign in that game, but I really like Sleeping Gods Distant Skies. And for whatever reason, I just haven't dived into the original Sleeping Gods. I heard it was a little bit difficult for solo, and that the sequel made it a little bit easier to control the characters. So I think that's one thing that might be putting me off. Also, it is a big campaign game. I feel like those are definitely an investment, and you have to spend time with them. And once you learn them, you don't want to step away from them for too long, because you don't want to forget everything that has kind of evolved throughout the course of the campaign. So I'm just trying to find the right time to play that game, but I really do want to play that game. I love a lot of Ryan Laukatt's other games, and I own a decent amount of his games too from Red Raven Games. And so I want to get into Sleeping Gods, and I know it is very highly regarded. Just for whatever reason, it's been sitting on my shelf for quite a while, and I'm hoping 2025 is the year that I can get it played. This next one is a game that is still in shrink wrap, which is never good because that means you haven't even looked at it yet. It's an Alexander Pfister game, another one that I got on sale. It's Cloud Age. So Cloud Age is an engine building, deck building game as well, and you're also managing resources. And it has like a campaign going on in it, but you can also just play one-offs, or you can play standalone things for like specific scenarios. And it looks really cool. It's got these little like airship, wooden meeples. It's a little hard to tell here. I'll throw a picture up, but Alexander Pfister, very acclaimed designer, has some other games that I really enjoy. I have Maracaibo by Alexander Pfister, and that is a really fun one that, again, I have not played that a ton, but I have played that a couple of times. But I've never played Cloud Age for whatever reason, and I want to open it, and I want to get it to the table because it looks really cool. I've also heard it's not all that difficult, and you can play it solo, of course, because that's what we're doing on this channel. So I think that's a really fun one that I just need to open up and kind of dive into, and I don't really know the reason why I have not played that one yet. In fact, even looking at it right now, I kind of think to myself, I really want to open that up and jump into that and see what that is all about. So I think that one might be one of the ones that gets played the soonest, but Cloud Age, I've had that for it seems like over a year now, and it's just been sitting on my shelf, and I have not jumped into it for whatever reason. So I have a few more base games, and then I also have some expansions that I haven't played yet, so we'll dive into those here, but I've got a few more base games. The next one is one that I picked up during Game Nerds Day sale, which they do now. They do twice a year. They used to do it once a year. And somebody actually commented on my channel a couple weeks ago and said that they love this game, and I just haven't played it for whatever reason. And it is Unmatched Adventures Tales to Amaze. So Unmatched is like a 1v1 battle type game where you have these decks of cards and you're kind of just fighting against each other. But the cool thing about Unmatched Adventures Tales to Amaze is that you can play it solo because you are going cooperatively against an enemy. So in this one, you're trying to stop the Mothman or the Martian invader, and you've got these 4 different characters that you can play as up here. I have played an Unmatched game before. I've actually played the Unmatched that came out, Slings and Arrows, which is the Shakespeare one. I played that with my wife, and I enjoyed that one, but for some reason I have not dived into that, Unmatched cooperative game, and I feel like I might enjoy that one more just because you can play it solo, and it also is cooperative. So if I wanted to play it with my wife and we wanted to kind of play together, we could do that. We tend to like more cooperative games than competitive games. So I do want to jump into that one solo, though. I think it will be a lot of fun. The production quality on the Unmatched games is always very fantastic, and I love the fact that you can mix and match whichever heroes you want. So, if I really enjoy this, then I can go out and get other Unmatched sets. I can even use my Unmatched characters from Slings and Arrows in this one to play competitively against these enemies. And they also have a new Unmatched Adventures that's coming out later this year, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, that theme doesn't really intrigue me very much. I was never a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was a kid, but I do like that they're adding more to the cooperative version of Unmatched. So that's one that I definitely want to get played. Okay, let's see what we have next here. Next is a roll and write game from Stonemaier Games. I've played this multiplayer. I have not played it solo. It really changes when you play it solo, so that's why it's on this list. It's Rolling Realms Redux. So again, Rolling Realms is a roll and write game. Now in the solo mode, they've got a lot going on in this version of Rolling Realms for the solo mode. They've got a lot of cards just for solo play, and they also have a whole solo rule book, and it's kind of got like a soccer theme going on to it. I've looked at it, I've read through the rules, I just haven't played it solo for whatever reason. I have played this multiplayer. It's a lot of fun multiplayer, but I feel like it would also shine solo as well. I do really enjoy roll and writes, and I like that these are little realms that you are playing against, and each of them work a little bit differently. So it's like you're getting many different little roll and writes in one particular box. Also, this one has 12 different realms in it, so a lot of variety here. It's got room for everything from the first edition of Rolling Realms, if you've got that, or if you want to add more realms into it. That's why this box is so big. But again, one that I really want to play solo just because I think I would really enjoy it. That's Rolling Realms Redux. Next up is a couple of games that I have received as review copies, and so we will have videos of these on the channel at some point, but I've had these for about a month now, and I've just not jumped into them. The first one is Peacemakers. This is from Snowdale Design, and so Peacemakers is a cooperative game where you are trying to bring peace, and there's scenarios in this game, and each one is kind of a different experience, and it's got a couple map books, some cards, and then these little, wooden screen printed meeples, which look really good. So I think this would be a lot of fun. I just haven't, again, jumped into this for whatever reason. I think it would be a good game. It looks like a fun game. Again, review copy that was sent to me, so we're going to be taking a look at it at some point, and that is Peacemakers, a cooperative game about stopping wars, which is a really interesting theme. And I like how it's a war game, or stopping a war game, but you've got these like cute little animal players that, characters that are in here, and each of these adventurers have their own like powers too, so it seems like there might be some asymmetrical player powers going on there too. That looks like a fun one. And then the next one is also from Snowdale Design as well. You may have heard of this one. This is a little bit of a bigger game and is a story and adventure game, and that is Lands of Galzier. So Lands of Galzier is a story-driven adventure game where you are adventuring out. Again, it's got the adventurers with the unique abilities, the screen-printed meeples again. And I've heard that this has a really cool kind of, it's not really a campaign, if you will, it's just really a story game. And so there's consequences to things that you do, but it seems like it's not like life or death when you play. And it's also kind of just a very chill story game. And also, it's not a set campaign, and it's very easy to save as well. And you can play it competitively and cooperatively. So I've heard a lot about this in the solo community in terms of enjoying this game. And again, this is another review copy, so I will be doing a video on it at some point. And I think this one would really appeal to me. I like story games that aren't super duper complex or super complicated and also have a really good story. And this one does use a website to give you those stories. So I'm really interested to see how this system works. Again, I've heard a lot about this one. Seems like it's a lot of fun. Lands of Galzier in there as another game that's on my shelf of opportunity for 2025. So that's all the base games that I have, but I also have a few expansions that I have not played yet, and I want to get these played in 2025. Okay, let's start with the one that I've had the longest. This is an expansion for Chronicles of Crime. I've played all the cases in base Chronicles of Crime. I really enjoy it. It's my top 50 solo games of all time. This is Chronicles of Crime Noir. So this is kind of set in like Los Angeles, and it's really dark and it's gritty, and it's got like gangsters and things going on in it. And it's got 4 scenarios set in Los Angeles in the 50s. Don't ask me why I haven't played this. I've opened it. I like Chronicles of Crime. I like noir stuff, like the video game LA Noir. It's one of my favorite video games that I've ever played. I feel like I would really enjoy this. I don't know why I haven't played it. Again, this is the shelf of opportunity for 2025. I could not tell. I've had this for years. For years, this has been on my shelf, and I have not played it for whatever reason. I don't know why. This is the year that I'm going to commit to playing through this and playing through these scenarios. And Chronicles of Crime works great solo. It does require an app and something with a camera, so like a phone or a tablet or whatever, so you can scan the QR codes on the cards. But again, this might be my biggest whiff on this whole list in terms of how long I have owned something and have not played it. I have had this, again, forever and have not played it. Don't ask me why. Okay, next, another expansion here. Smaller expansion. Came out last year, so don't feel as bad about it. It's came out at Gen Con. It's for a small game. It's Beacon Patrol, the Ships and Shores expansion. So in the Ships and Shores expansion, wow, that's really kind of hard to say. It's got different ships in there that give you unique abilities while you're playing Beacon Patrol. Beacon Patrol is a little tile laying game where you are just trying to kind of surround things with certain tiles. And also it's really cool in how you navigate those tiles and where you can place the tiles. It's got a lot of puzzle aspects going on to it. Really great solo game, really fast, really easy to understand. It's got a couple of different modules that come in the base game that you can add to it that make it a little more complex, and then this is just going to give you some more strategic depth as well, and it's got some expansion tiles, just like these are the little tiles that you use when you're playing Beacon Patrol. So this one I haven't had as long, but again, an expansion that I want to get played for a game that I really enjoy. And the last one here on this list of the Shelf of Opportunity, this one also hurts. I'm going to tell you, this one hurts a lot because I've heard a lot about this expansion. It is for a game that is very highly regarded. People say this expansion makes the game even better. Again, I have read the rules for this. I have not opened it, but I have read the rules. I even watched a how to play video on this expansion, and I don't know why I haven't played with this yet. Are you ready? Here's the last thing for this video. It is Dune Imperium, Rise of Ix. Again, I've had this for a while. I don't know why I haven't opened it. I love Dune Imperium. Why have I not played with Rise of Ix? I don't know. I've looked at what this expansion has. It seems like all this stuff is great for Dune Imperium. Adds a lot of cool new things, changes some things, cleans up some things. A great expansion. Why have I not played it? I don't know. I watched you can see here on the box, watch it played. I watched Rodney's video of how to play it. I read the rules. I just haven't played it. And I don't know why. So I need to definitely do that here in 2025. And I've had a couple people ask me on the channel too, have you played Dune Imperium with Rise of Ix? And I'm like, no, I have not. I need to though, because it looks great. It's a great game. This is highly regarded as a great expansion for a great game. So definitely want to get that one played in 2025 as well. So there you go. That's all the games on my board game shelf of opportunity for 2025. That's a lot. That kind of makes me feel bad that I have that many that I have not played. But again, lots of new experiences and lots of new opportunities. And maybe I don't need to buy any new games for a little while because I've got a lot here that I can go through and play these. But it's always, the new stuff that comes out. You want to get the new thing. And so I'm sure I'm going to fall into that trap at some point throughout the course of the year. But I do want to focus on playing these games that I already have, that I have not played. And again, some of them I have reasons for, some of them I just cannot tell you why I haven't played them at all. And they just sit on my shelf and I look at them and I say, I need to get that to the table, and I never do. So I'm going to make that a resolution for this year, is to play these games, maybe do a video on some of them or do little like summaries on some of them and let you know how they played solo, because again, I've got a lot here and I do think there's a lot of really cool experiences here that I need to check out. So let me know if you've played any of those in the comments, or if you own any of those, if you have any games on your shelf of opportunity that you want to get played in 2025, you can let me know those as well. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Until next time, I'm Jared. You've been checking out Specifically Solo.